Welcome to today's lesson. So today we're looking at antonyma, which at this point you need to know that that means the opposite. And this is going to be a very short lesson because I believe that you already have what you need in order for you to learn antonyma, but there are still people who avoid it simply because they think that it's a hard thing to study, and that's not a fact. Unfortunately, it will need you to sacrifice maybe like a block of time for you to study them properly. Because of the idea that it might be hard, people don't even attempt it, even though schools go through a lot of trouble to ensure that you have a manageable list of antonyms to learn, which means that basically all you have to do is just learn the ones that your teacher provides you with, and that should be enough for you to pass this. All right, so what should you know? What you should know is that you need to know that the difference between synonym and antonym is that synonym is the same and antonym is different. In order to help you learn that, just cram that the A stands for anti, which anti is like the prefix that means against or opposite. You need to also know that this is 3 marks. Honestly, it's like a gut feeling when they ask you the antonym. It's either you know it or you don't know it. There is a trick to help you, maybe like guess it if maybe you don't know it, and I'll show you that now. And then again, only learn the ones that your teacher provided, because chances are, I'm 99% sure that if they provided you with a list and they're the ones setting up the paper, they'll only ask you from the list that they gave you. It's not like home language where they expect you to know basically of every word that ever existed, basically. And make sure that you quiz yourself, at least 30 of them, before you like if before the test, if you are like in grades ending at grade 9. I have to say though, these days grade 9, like the ones that they ask in grade 9 are kind of in the grade 10 to 12 bracket, so you might want to adjust when you get to grade 9 to ensure that you know at least 50 or between 50 and 80 antonyms. So these are the common ones. I mean, the list is long. These are the only ones that I wanted to add here. But at any given point in time, you need to know that the opposite of groot is klein. First of all, you need to know that groot is big. Like especially if you are like in grade 6, 7, 8, you need to know these words by then, regardless of the fact that you started Afrikaans in grade 4 or in grade 1. Okay, so you need to know warm is the opposite of koud, gelukkig is the opposite of hartseer, oop is the opposite of toe, hoog is the opposite of laag, lig is the opposite of donker, vinnig is the opposite of stadig. Now, if they do ask you these easier ones, the only trick that they can add is to make it a trappe van vergelijking. So they can, instead of asking you groot, they can say groter. Your job is to say kleiner. So if they give you groter and you say klein, they're not even going to give you half a mark. It's wrong. Okay. So if they say grootste, your job is to provide the answer kleinste. If you don't do that, they're not going to give you the mark. It is literally that simple. All right, then I pulled this from a past paper. They asked gee die antoniem van die woord tussen hakies. This is basically the only way that they can ask this. Or if they give you like a table, I guess. I don't think they would do that, but they can do anything. And they asked verre gewone roosterbrood betaal jy R6. So I think this came from a grade 9 paper. That's why I'm saying that grade 9 you also need to be careful because they might start asking like medium to hard ones there as well. So gewone means ordinary. Okay, gewoon. Um, and then so the opposite of gewoon, ordinary, is special, speciale, besonder, like unique or whatever. Or you can say ongewone. That's the trick that I was talking about. So if they ask you like something and you don't know the answer, you can say on, um, whichever word they give you, because on in which case is like the number one prefix for the opposite. I don't recommend it with every word, obviously. It's only for like a selected few where it would work. Okay, so you can try that. So for me to kind of help you with this, I'm gonna put a resource in the description that has over 200 antonyms. I have to say though, some of the ones that are there are quite hard, which means that they are only applicable for home language people. But if you just want to prepare yourself for any case scenario, you can go ahead and download it. Unfortunately, you need to log in to download it, so just go ahead and do that, but ensure that the site is safe. So I'm going to put that in the description down below. And now you're ready. Again, it doesn't need to be a super complicated process. It just needs discipline, which means that you just need to decide that, okay, today I'm learning all the antonyms that I can possibly squeeze in my brain, but I'm going to squeeze them in such a way that I'm going to remember them no matter what. And that becomes like your power 30 or your power 40 or your power 50, basically words that no one can shake out of you. So that's how I would suggest you do this, because this is what I did to learn my antonyms. And there are some that even now as a grown up, I haven't forgotten them. So I promise you this works, but you need to sit down and actually do it. Okay. There's no easier way to do it. I think that's what I'm trying to say. All right. I hope this helps. And also check out the lesson on synonym. All right. See you next week. Bye.